Alright, the next day after I first bought my car, I had an issue with the tire dropping down. So it was losing probably 10 pounds a night. So I sent it back to the dealer, and then the dealer took the tire, and then they fixed it. The guy said there was like a leak in the bead from what he could tell, but he couldn't see it leaking any air anywhere. So then I got it back, and it seemed to be holding air. And then I put it right into storage pretty much the next day, because it never actually went back on the car because I got my snow tires, which I think everybody saw my video with the snow tires. So I figured I'd go back here and see. Let's see there's like a little lip around the edge of this. So the way I was going to check for that is just fill up the lip. You can see the water go all the way around there. And then that will tell you whether it's leaking, because you'll look for bubbles. I'm not seeing any bubbles here at all. So my next thing is just to go around the sidewall of the tire. Usually you could use soap too. Thought I saw something there. Oh, I did see something. This is when soap would be handier. Oh, look at that. I guess I found a hole. So it looks like this will have to head back to the dealership and have them give holy cow, give another do-over on this. Wow, that's crazy. There, so I pointed it out, wrote leak on there. You can see that. Well, that's something. Surprised that didn't show up in the bubble tank. They must have had air coming around the edge of the rim and just thought they got it. Yikes. Well, I'm going to check the other side just to see if the rim's leaking too, but I'm fairly certain that this is in fact a leak. I'm going to check this thing, because quite honestly, I've never liked these things. So this was kind of where I thought the leak was going to be. So first, oops. Because these things are notorious for leaking. That's just the bubbles that I had in there from disturbing the water. Nothing new. Okay. I think I got it. I think there's not much of a surprise as to where that leak was. Okay, excellent. Game over. You'll be back on your feet again soon. Actually, I gotta go up and grab one of my spares and put a spare on right now. Well, here's the thing. This car doesn't actually come with a spare. So what I'll end up doing is I'll go back up into the garage and I will get one of my snow tires out of there. Gotta use the other lugs on there, and I'll put the snow tire on it. So I can get away with running a snow tire on the front for a little bit. At least a couple of days. Okay, so I'm upstairs now. These are longer than the other lug nuts, and you'll also notice that they're a little bit crappier because they spent the winter on the car. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 5. I need 5 of these puppies. There. 5 of those little fellas. I'll let those stay there for a little bit. I'll select this tire at random because it's at the top of the pile. Here we go. Well, that's trickier to do one-handed than I expected. There you go, you little bugger. Boop. Farewell, entire. Yeah, that's a little overkill for taking one tire down. That's for sure. But I kind of needed to do that because what I ended up doing is I raced my grandson up the hill last weekend, just before Easter dinner, and I got to the top of the hill because it's steep. It's like that. So just before I got to the top of the hill, all of a sudden I felt like a lightning bolt in the back of my knee. Felt like something popped, and I think I had just like a muscle pull. So on the bright side, I won because I was clearly way in front of him. But I can definitely tell that in a few more years, that the margin on that race is going to be incredibly thin. I'm not going to win anymore. I can tell right now. So yeah, at least I can climb a ladder again. I'm still walking with a little bit of a limp, but I'm actually doing pretty well. It's healing up enough for, I don't want to mess with it because I know that if I mess with it too much, I'm liable to actually injure something. And I don't want to do that, so taking it easy. We have machines and hoists and everything else that can do the dirty work for us. I'm going to let them do it. Oh yeah, and that was another fun thing. When you're getting ready to pull a tire off a vehicle and you may not be putting it back on, having another vehicle in front of it in the garage where you need to get upstairs to get your spare from, yeah, that's a bad idea. I didn't think this one too far. Luckily, it's not a very long vehicle, and yeah, in the future I'll just have to do it farther back. It's not a great idea. Oh yeah, and Mazda, that is the crappiest factory jack I've ever run into, and I love scissor jacks. I mean, I really love scissor jacks. I've had a little fetish with those things for years. This right here, that's the OEM scissor jack from my Suzuki Samurai. This is the OEM jack from another one of my Samurai. Somewhere around here there's at least 3 of these things because I collected these. These are probably the best OEM jack I've ever run into. They're still a scissor jack, but they're very well built. I mean, everything is super overdone on here. You get the bushings in there. It's a fantastic jack, and I've overloaded those things so badly, I hesitate to even tell people the truth about what I do to those poor jacks. This one here, not so much. This one's already started binding. So this jack is just an incredible piece of shit. So I will probably end up having to change that thing out eventually because I can't picture it doing too many more jackings. I mean, I really shouldn't even be using it to hold the vehicle up right now. But because I've been busy talking to you guys, and I didn't actually expect to have to leave this up in the air this long, because I did not think I was going to be sending that thing back. I figured it was just going to be, I was going to reseat the bead and call it a day. But obviously we know that ended differently. Anyways, that's enough of my rambling. Let me get the tire back on. And yes, this is in fact a horse evener. It's a fantastic hoisting device, so I end up using it because it's nice. I mean, I don't necessarily need it for tires, but for larger items, it really works out well. Lets you spread the load out a bit more. I just like to make sure that that thing is up high enough so I don't get it in the face, because that's no fun. And last but not least, I don't even want to tell you what this thing would do to that car. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting little setup. It's a smaller rim and tall rubber, and there we've got the taller rim and small rubber. So that's why I put it, well, I didn't put it on the front. Luckily for me, the flat happened to be on the front. If it was on the back, I probably would have swapped it to the front, just because I didn't want to mess with the differential. Obviously, not being front wheel drive, it's not going to make a huge difference. It might pull to the right a little bit because this is well, it's a way softer compound tire, and it's a way different size all the way around. So hopefully that's not going to be a huge issue. I don't think it will be for the 2 days it's going to take to fix this stupid thing. But that's the way we roll. I'm going to get the torque wrench out and make sure everybody's going to stay on. That's it.